Hey everyone, welcome to Friday.
Oh yeah, it's Friday. Hey.
Yeah, George is a little static.
Is that George?
George.
Hey.
I'm so excited. I heard you guys have a special guest today. I can't wait to see who it is.
Me either.
Senor Boondoggle, apparently.
Hola.
What's up? What's up in Pennsylvania, George?
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's a little cloudy. It's a little chilly. It's a little rainy, but it's kind of a nice mid-January kind of day. It's one of those like maybe not. It's much more of a Sunday than a Friday, but considering it's, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's all good. We have put away our Christmas paraphernalia here in Bethlehem because it's quite crazy.
They do that in Bethlehem. That's like
A
packing
little
up
bit.
the North Pole, you know.
Totally right. You know, there's like there's like 4% that remains throughout the year, but the other 96 that gets built up as we get into the season. And then at the library, they have the gigantic tree and they have the gigantic Moravian star, which is down there, and it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. Well, that all got packed away at the start of this week, so it's kind of like, okay, all right, Christmas is officially done. But it's okay. It's the city. The city has this amazing crew here that they light all of the trees. They light all of the like telephone poles and all the stuff gets little Christmas trees put on it. There's, like I said, the massive tree that gets installed at the library, the city center. It's quite a whole huge production. You see the trucks throughout the fall, driving around, setting everything up, putting all the lights, and then it all gets turned on, and it's just like, I love it. I love it. I was a freshman here in 1989, walking around for my first Christmas in Bethlehem, walking around town like, this is so great. And it's nothing like what it was now. Like back then, it was barely what it is now, but it was still really cool. And upperclassmen would say to me, in 3 years, you'll be sick of it. Here it is 30 years later. I'm like, this is great. I love it. Never got sick of it.
Where could I see like really good pictures of their best stuff?
If you go to Instagram, if you go to Lehigh Valley with Love, tends to have nice photos from all the seasonal stuff, as well as I think Bethlehem Official or Bethlehem City Official, I think, has some really, really lovely stuff.
Yeah.
You can also just Google Bethlehem Lehigh Valley, and it's just our Chris Kindle Market, which is our big German Christmas village thing. It's killer. It's killer. But now it's all gone.
I actually entered a town contest at the town I'm in, for decorations inside the house,
Oh, cool.
and I lost. The fix was in.
Yeah, because it's so dark in there. Can't see anything.
Yeah, it looked great. It looked great. My Christmas decorations, not as good as my Halloween, but they were off the hook.
Bob,
And,
you saying a parade of people came walking through your house to see the decorations?
No, it was all online. You put for the people that decorate the outside and enter the contest, you had to be visited. And my decorations outside were nothing to speak of, but inside they were nice. And so it was all online. You just posted pictures online, and then if people like it, you get votes. It's a vote. One like is one vote, apparently. But nobody was interested really in anyone. It's just like it wasn't promoted, so there wasn't many votes at all.
What was your best thing? What was your killer decoration? What was the centerpiece?
Well, the tree was beautiful. The tree was beautiful. My mom had little villages, Christmas village buildings this big, and we made like a town, with a row of buildings, snow, and people doing stuff. And of course I had to throw like a little skeleton on the balcony over here and a big spider on the roof over there. But that was, I didn't really Halloween it at all, really. And so that was beautiful. We had lights. We bought lights for the inside of the buildings. So they look great. So that was one of my favorite things. But I loved the Marley ghost I projected onto my on my door. So every now and then he would appear with the chains all over, shrieking.
You can find a ghost, Bob will find it. Whatever holiday.
And it wasn't
President's Day.
He's
got Washington's corpse.
The macabre meets the holidays. Yeah.
Easter, it's just Jesus-like zombies. It's perfect. It's fantastic. Arbor Day, it's the trees from Wizard of Oz.
It was fun. I mean, I grabbed a lot of. My mom moved last year, so she had stupid amounts of Christmas stuff, and she took a little bit. But we were selling everything. So I'm like, I'm not going to allow that to be sold. So I took her 6-foot nutcracker. She's got a 6-foot nutcracker that's gorgeous. I'm like, we're not going to put that on auction. I'm taking that way. So I had him in the corner and, just a bunch of little things that she's collected over the decades. And
real tree, Bob, or fake tree? Real tree or fake tree?
Fake. Come on, fake.
No,
it was.
No, I had a real tree this year.
Real tree.
It's my tree. My new tradition is my tree comes out mid-September, and it gets decorated for Halloween. And then when that comes down, Christmas goes on. I mean,
now that is kind of an advantage to having, I suppose, a fake tree.
If you're Bob, but otherwise, if you're not crazy,
but otherwise,
live trees are better
throughout the world.
Live trees are better. This year, by luck, I had the best tree I've ever had. It was beautiful, really, very symmetrical, very full, just like the perfect size and shape.
Just like my tree, by the way. Symmetrical and full every year. It's perfect.
No smell,
There's no surprise. There's no accomplishment. It's just that you don't have to find a good tree. It's like you have
decorating it is an art. What do you mean no accomplishment? Decorating it is
getting the symmetrical, beautiful tree.
Yeah, I did that. I did that when my daughter was growing up. I was done with it.
There's mine.
Very
what
nice.
a lovely tree. Nice.
Not
That's
quite
beautiful.
focused, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, do you do colored lights or white lights? Where are you guys at with the light selection?
We do colored.
Colored.
Yeah,
white outside, colored on the Christmas.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Ours could switch though. We could go flashing. We could do white. We could do colored. That was really cool. That was a cool option to have.
My friend Milton Murmakidis in London, he bought this set of lights that you put it on the tree. Like you just randomly put this big net on the tree.
And it maps it.
And then, with your phone, you sort of scan it and it maps it. And then you can have words, you can have bows. It figures out where every single light is through like an RIFD chip thingy. And then you can have these coordinated light shows. Like you don't have to you just throw the lights on and it figures out what's where.
It maps it.
You can change it's the coolest thing.
I've seen videos of it, and it looks
amazing.
fantastic. It looks fantastic.
I programmed 100 little drones to fly around my tree.
There you
and
go.
Flash different lights.
There you go.
Right, Ian?
Firefly-sized drones. Yeah.
Ian knows all about that.
Yeah, I helped with that totally.
Thank you.
That's lovely.
My tree with the
What's on top of it? A little snowman?
snowman, with the hat.
I love it. That's
Very
very good.
It's kind of small. There's not a lot of real estate. It's only, my ceilings are a little low, so it can't. If I want to get anything on top of it, it's got to be a little small. That's like 5 feet, 5.5 feet. So there's not a lot of real estate. I went to Jay's house. He had a tree. The square footage was like insane. I literally don't have enough stuff to put on his tree if I wanted to decorate his tree with just my ornaments. It's like, holy crap, amazing. But man, I could make that tree look good on Halloween, but this is too big.
You guys notice anything different in my background? To see how attentive you are to detail.
Oh, let's see.
The fake bookshelf
Background.
Yeah, where's the fake books?
Human remains.
Yeah.
Oh, that's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of being
Sword.
over there,
You have an extra sword or new sword?
Yeah.
Another sword?
that's my same sword.
Same sword.
But was that display right there before?
This
It was over
bookshelf.
there.
Yeah.
That
That
was
bookshelf
there.
is entirely new.
Yeah, that's
that's entirely
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bookshelf's entirely new.
Did the books
So I'm
come with it?
thinking of
subtle.
building. Let's see, right there. So on this wall here, I think I'm going to build the bookshelves. Just
Makes sense.
put in custom bookshelves for the whole wall.
There's nothing like good
Right now, I have like these sad little bookshelves. Got to get rid of them.
and you need a good balance between books and artifacts,
Mhm.
right? That's an art.
I like staggered bookshelves, but it's hard to find ones that are well done. They're all, for that space, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean by staggered? Like the shelves are not all the same size and shape.
Yeah.
So you have some more options in terms of like, I could put something tall here. You know what I mean? Something small
Right.
can go over there.
Right.
But usually, I've looked at hundreds of them online, and they're all just like, they're not doing it right. I just don't like them.
I got mine on IKEA, man. They were, and then like I bought these. What was it? 10 years ago, and because I wanted same thing. I wanted a whole wall of books because I have all these books that have been forever. And it was like just by sheer happenstance, it was within a 1/4 inch of the ceiling, so they just fit in perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like floor to ceiling, and they vary in height, and you can adjust the height for each shelf. So you can have the big art books and the small paperbacks and everything. And I love it.
Yeah. Now, like you could go on YouTube and look at IKEA hacks.
Oh
where,
yeah,
like you build it not the way
totally.
you don't follow the
Yeah.
instructions. You just
some brilliant stuff.
re-engineer.
Yeah,
based
especially you
upon-
go into the like the stuff that's on sale, like that might be slightly broken or marred, or like the boxes or whatever, and so they're crazy cheap. You buy that stuff and you mod that because then you don't use the marred pieces or whatever. Oh, it's great. It's like it's killer.
And the thing is, like you really should glue them in together, even though the lock-in mechanisms are okay.
Yeah.
But if you just get some wood glue, it makes them much more solid.
Yeah.
And then people say, "Oh, but then you can't take it down." And we're like, "Yeah, but have you ever done that in your life? Have you ever taken apart your IKEA whatever in order to move it?"
I took it apart with a sledgehammer.
You drill and then you bolt pieces together too. So if like you have 2 bookshelves, you bolt them to each other. It becomes much more solid than 2.
You gotta have the stability if you're gonna leave it.
Do you attach it to the wall like you're supposed to?
The one that's like a 1/4 inch from the ceiling literally cannot move. So no.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I will do at the very top. I'll do that little. They have that little J piece or the piece of cloth. And you just get that into the wall. So because I can see that. I can see it falling over just like in the middle of the night when I'm asleep, and I will think that ninjas are attacking. And so I don't want that.
I also just put like books on the bottom, so it's weighted so that it's very very bottom heavy.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to put
Smart.
like a huge, really top heavy bookshelf. Not a good idea.
Nope. Defies.
How many of your books, Steve, would you say you've read? Like how many? I'll put it this way: how many books that you own have you not read? Like percentage-wise.
I don't know that I have any. I mean, not including Jocelyn's books, but like books that I personally own. I buy them to read them.
Okay.
So, maybe a few that I got or were given to me, or I know I have a couple of books that I have just for show. But
Like what?
Like if you look at like my shelf over there, like all the shelves here, I've read all those books.
Okay. It's a good feeling, right? It's like,
yeah.
It's at Thanksgiving years ago, one of my nieces looked at the wall and they were like, "Did you read all those?" And I was like, "Yeah, I actually did."
Yeah, why else would you have them?
Well, sometimes like you'll buy 2 or 3 books together because you'll get you see them on sale or something.
Yeah.
And you get home and you're reading the one, and then like you buy another one, and you forget that you had those, whatever. So occasionally you go, "Oh,
no, I mean, obviously I have reference books that I don't read the reference books,
right,
manuals and things like that. But books that are like novels or whatever, I've read. Yeah, I pretty much read them all.
Steve, do you remember this book from our childhood?
Oh yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, what's it about?
Thumbed through that book many times.
This was my dad's book. He had it. I remember it going back decades.
It's about Dan Brown.
And man, I grabbed it. I grabbed it when when I moved.
Dan Brown by Leonardo da Vinci.
It's a fantastic book.
You know what's even more fantastic than that book is actually going to Vinci, which I did.
Yeah.
and just have a day around town there. It's fantastic.
No,
so as kids, you would go through that as kids. You loved it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you get it? Did you know who that was?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was just one of the people. Like my father was fascinated by him, so like we all knew about Da Vinci and who he was. We would watch any specials about him. I've definitely thumbed through every page on that book multiple times.
Oh yeah,
Evan, in Florence, we went to the Da Vinci Museum. It wasn't
I did
in
too.
Vinci, but there was a Da Vinci Museum in Florence. Very, very good.
Still
He had
there.
his middle finger is there.
Mm-hmm.
And
they gave it to me. He gave me the middle finger. I don't know what's going on.
That book was your internet, basically. You would just.
It was.
You would
Your tour guide.
Well, we also had Britannica.
Yeah.
Did you have that?
Really?
That was our Wikipedia.
For my communion when I was 7.
Yeah. On the bookshelves.
My mom's dad from Chicago sent it was this massive. It was a book like this, the size of my torso, and it was just this encyclopedia of everything. I loved that, man. I would just flip through that and dog-ear things and underline stuff, and so many reports were based solely on what was in that book, like all through grade school. Like, oh, I got to write about, dam building. Okay, go to the dam building chapter in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Ready, Steve? You ready for another trip?
Yeah.
This is
it's whited out. I can't see it.
World Book.
Oh, that's the World Book. Oh yeah,
World Book.
The World Book.
I kept this. It's S. It's the letter S because I use this for my spider report from 5th grade.
Spidey report. Were your senses tingling?
That's the report that I got an A++ on, by the way.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was like, I'm keeping this. This is very nostalgic. So it's in my library.
That was Bob's academic peak.
Yeah, A++. Yeah, I didn't get it. I never got the triple pluses. So you're right. That was the highest I ever got, whatever the hell that even means.
What was your angle on the spider report? Did you have it, or is it just general spiders?
Just general spiders. Everything I knew about spiders. And I remember
arachnids.
Yeah, and my mom drew a couple. She's very artistic. I remember we got the poster board, the white poster board about this big, and she drew some cool stuff on it as well. And that was very, because of Spider-Man, I was way into spiders. I still am. To this day, I will never kill a spider. I've never killed a spider intentionally. And I love looking at them, and going to Australia was fantastic because you see spiders like this big, and orb beavers. I mean, the biggest ones I saw were where they were bigger than anything in Connecticut. They were gorgeous.
Yeah, well, Connecticut's a small state, so. A picture from the Da Vinci Museum, by the way. I try to get out of the way if I can. But it's cool. One of his rooms has these solid objects and things, that are just kind of hanging there, and just one of many fascinating sort of places.
Da Vinci's balls.
Right. But the thing that's
Vinci's hanging balls.
The thing that's interesting about Da Vinci is that this is something I didn't really appreciate till I got older, is all of his inventions and his ideas and everything that he did was all rediscovered after he died.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically had no impact on the scientific world because he was just toiling away in his own place and wasn't
where only his mind could go.
interfacing with the scientific community at the time for what it was. So in a way, even though he was brilliant, he was also kind of a crank. He was by our modern. If if you said, all right, here's the guy. He's very smart, but he's toiling away. He's got a lot of odd ideas. They don't really gel. It didn't really lead to anything or make any actual inventions. Yeah, that's what a crank is. He was a brilliant crank, but he never, impacted the world.
What about his art?
He was
artistically he did, but
Yeah.
scientifically, I mean, he didn't invent flying, or whatever. All the other stuff that he was working on came to nothing.
He was, but he was an observer of the world around him, a great observer.
He was a punk.
He was a punk, yeah.
Da Vinci bubbles.
Well,
artistically, it's different because he was interfacing with the artistic world, right? He was engaged, and his work was embedded in, what was happening at the time, and was influencing people and all that stuff. So it's different. Scientific stuff was just all in his own head,
Did you read the headline this week? 500-year-old paradox by Leonardo da Vinci finally been solved, says a new study.
Yeah, I saw it.
About bubbles.
Yeah, it wasn't worthy of discussion on the podcast.
No, it wasn't. It was path instability of an air bubble rising in water. So I guess he was studying bubbles, as of course he would, and realized that they don't all rise sort of in the same way. Some of them take this sort of path that was described as a zigzag, and there's drawing, obvious Da Vinci drawings of the bubbles that he would take these notes on, and he couldn't figure out what it was, but I guess he was one of the first people to sort of observe the phenomenon, make a record of it, and try to figure it out, but couldn't crack it. But scientists, I think, announced this week that they did finally come up with a mathematical explanation as to why some bubbles,
which is news probably because you could attach Da Vinci's name to it. Right,
sure.
So because you put Da Vinci in the headline, it's news.
It was to me. I clicked on it.
Yeah, of course. Da Vinci's name.
Da Vinci bias.
Did you understand the reason why the bubbles do dissipate differently, or
let's see.
Not a big deal.
Let me see if it was.
Is it like
saying here?
I started to read it, but then I got bored.
Then my interest popped.
You just fizzed out.
Yeah.
The research suggests that bubbles can reach a critical radius that pushes them into new and unstable paths due to interactions between the flow of water around them and the subtle deformations of their shapes.
Okay, so the bigger the bubble, I guess, the more it's apt to be affected by.
Right, have imperfections that cause its path to rising to be influenced.
That's cool.
But I guess the fact that I don't know. Apparently, scientists have been looking at this or have observed the phenomenon for 500 years, and it never came up with a satisfactory answer until this paper.
Some things are really, really hard to mathematically model. Especially the more chaotic it is.
Chaos.
Absolutely.
Positively. All right.
What do you guys remember
model
about what the nighttime sky looked like when you were kids?
What's the?
I'm biased or influenced too much by my current memory of. Right. I don't think it looked all that different than how I see it now. Is my recollection.
Really?
But I don't know. I don't know if that's just me misremembering how I used to remember the nighttime sky.
Yeah. So maybe there was less light pollution, but it's not dramatic.
So I think it was pretty dramatic. My memory is that you could look up at the nighttime sky on a clear night and see the Milky Way.
If your eyes adjusted long enough to the darkness.
You really cannot do now.
Oh, no, you can now, sure.
Well, you have to get...
Depends where you are.
Yeah,
it depends on where you are. You can't do it in the same whatever. Like you saying,
In our
like I can't do it in my
region
backyard.
of the country,
Yeah. Well,
it's
you couldn't.
yeah, it's much harder, right?
It's
There's
much
way
harder.
too much there's way too much highway and building
No,
light pollution and stuff going on.
I wrote today about a study that was measuring the difference in light pollution over the last 10, 20 years.
I'm sure it's rising significantly.
Significant. Yeah, it's very, very significant.
Yeah.
So,
What exactly do you think you're looking at when you see that band, that distinctive Milky Way band in the sky, Steve?
hydrogen gas clouds.
No.
Gas and dust.
What part of the galaxy? What part of the galaxy is it?
Well, it's the plane of the galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're looking outward.
Probably the arm that we're in of the galaxy, the Sagittarius arm.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, because a lot of people, and I think a while ago I used to think that, oh yeah, that's towards the center, but there's no way we could see the center of our galaxy from where we are with our eyes. So I think it's got to be. I'm not sure. I think we're on a spur.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of seeing that, but I haven't done a deep dive on that.
I don't know what direction it's in.
Can we pinpoint? Yeah.
Because
how do we pinpoint that direction?
If you had a map of the Milky Way, the amount of stars that when you look up and you see there's 5,000 stars that you could see, it's basically a little circle right around here is what you're seeing around the sun, our solar system. Your eye cannot see beyond. You're not seeing much of the Milky Way at all.
Yeah.
But of course, there are some things that are very far away that you could see, like the Magellanic Clouds that we saw in Australia, New Zealand. I mean, that's like 170,000 light years away. But that's such a a gargantuan structure that it's close.
So the light pollution has doubled in the last 8 years.
8
years?
8
years.
Wow.
Doubled in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Goddamn ridiculous.
Well, you watch how you drive around town. I mean, I've been with playing music. I've been driving late at night since I was probably 14, 15. So 1, 2, 3 in the morning kind of stuff. And it used to be it's 2 or 3 in the morning. First off, there weren't nearly as many people out driving, which has been a weird thing in the last 20 years of there's I can drive somewhere at 3 in the morning and there will be people on the highway. I used to remember driving on empty highways in the 80s, empty, 287 in New Jersey at 2 in the morning was pretty empty. Not so anymore, but you would drive past strip malls and they'd be dark. Whereas now they're
strip malls, right?
24 hours a day.
Yeah. Why?
The signs for commercial, I guess, purposes to just that's no one turns their signs off anymore, ever.
And they're bad. That horizontal light is actually really bad. It scatters bad. It really interferes with our ability to see the sky. Yeah, it's just that lighting is so cheap now with the LEDs. Right. And also LEDs are worse than the older yellow sulfur lights they would use for street lamps because they scatter more and they're more in the blue range, which has a greater influence on our vision.
Yeah. They do their job better, but they're worse for light pollution. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Hey, Bob.
I think we absolutely have to just regulate that and just to eliminate completely unnecessary light pollution.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. There's a street lamp right next to my driveway. You know where I live in a cul-de-sac in a fucking rural town. There's zero need for a street lamp there. I mean, there's houses all around. I mean, there's absolutely it only serves one function. That's to interfere with my ability to see the nighttime sky. That's it.
There's a quick fix for that, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, you know what I've thought?
Happened?
What I've wanted to see for a long, long time. Imagine if you can look up in the night sky, and you could replicate this with augmented reality goggles or whatever. But imagine if you could part the entire atmosphere so that you see the sky without any obscuring atmosphere at all. Imagine how that would look. Basically like you were outside the atmosphere above the earth. Imagine, I would like to see what the disparity is between what we see.
I would just like to see a zero light pollution sky.
Yeah, well,
that's
well,
what everyone's
well,
saying.
neither of our desires are going to happen in that regard.
Bob,
Well, but we can get a lot closer with just some common sense regulation.
Common sense, is that all you want?
Here's a question though.
Easy.
So like at the end of Empire, right?
Yeah.
They're on the medical ship and they're looking out the window
And they see the galaxy.
and they see the galaxy. Like, can you do that? Is there a place you could stand?
Probably a place where that vantage is
there? Because like whenever we see these amazing photos that are sent, from Hubble or from whatever, they're always enhanced. They're always
right.
We're looking at some kind of enhancement of it's either UV light or whatever the thing. Can you stand someplace and have an amazing galaxy experience or some kind of nebula experience, or is it just too big and you can never actually get outside of it to really see it the way it's presented in science fiction?
George, my guess is that you could get to a vantage point for our Milky Way where it would be fairly spectacular. I don't think it would look quite as spectacular as the movie, but I think it would be quite an impressive sight. But I do know that they are a lot dimmer to human vision than you would think. If you look at the Andromeda Galaxy, beautiful, gargantuan spiral galaxy, elliptical galaxy that's bigger than the Milky Way, 2 million light years away, and it's so big.
How big is it?
It's so big, and I think it's bigger than a full moon in diameter. I mean, it's like.
But it's too wispy to see with the naked eye.
But you can. But it's like it's too wispy and too attenuated. You can't. You got to just sit there with your exposure and build it up over time.
That's 2 million light years away. All right,
2 million light years away, but it's big. I mean, if you looked at it, it's like that. That's how big it would be to your eye, or even bigger than that, and we still can't see it.
But let me answer George's question. The answer is yes, you could, if you were in the right place. Remember, Star Wars is in a galaxy far, far away, right? So we can hypothesize any astronomical situation there. So clearly, that's not the galaxy that they're in. Right. So that has to be a satellite galaxy. Which is, so if you had a satellite galaxy like the Magellanic Clouds, but it was really close. That galaxy could be 30,000 light years away, not 2 million light years away.
But it wouldn't be dissipated.
If they were on ships. It didn't matter.
No, you'd be able to see it.
You'd be able to see it? Okay.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. What percentage of stars do you think are in between galaxies versus in galaxies?
Majority of them.
Oh, I would think the opposite. I would think very few.
Space is big, George.
It's about 50%.
50, okay.
So think about that. Half of all stars are not even in a galaxy.
They are rogues.
In the intergalactic space.
How about planets?
Oh gosh,
well, that's it.
You got to have rogue planets.
So I mean, I haven't heard an analysis of like what percentage of those stars would have high metallicity and how old would they be, and were they ejected? So they're all old stars, whatever.
But then wouldn't they interfere with your view? If 50% of the points of light, let's say, that you're seeing are going to be not part of a galaxy or some kind of a spiral arm or something, isn't it going to just diffuse the whole thing, and you're not going to get? It's not going to be that distinct, awesome Hubble image.
No, my point is, if you're on one of those planets, orbiting one of those stars, you could be parked next to a giant, beautiful galaxy.
I get you. Okay.
Right. You're not in a galaxy, so there's nothing around you. You're just seeing a galaxy in front of you.
Right.
George,
that would be an impressive view, wouldn't it?
The Earth will have that view, George. All you got to do is wait 3 billion years.
Okay.
And Andromeda is heading toward us. We're heading towards each other.
Well, the sun's going to be
going to be a hell of a party.
Right? We'll probably still be okay in 3 billion years.
3? Okay, maybe 5. Yeah, 3. All right, cool.
That's going to be. We're going to merge into one. They're going to call it. Well, they have a name for it, Milkopedia, which I don't like very much. Milkopedia.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Milkopedia.
Would you get
should
those?
Be the Andromeda Way is much better.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have all the colors though, right? It would still basically just be a white.
Well, no.
Or would you get some kind
red
of
stars and blue stars? I think you'd be able to see them depending, on how close they were.
It's not going to be a Hubble photo though. Those are super enhanced.
Especially nebulas though. I think if you get really close to a big, beautiful nebula that you've seen from Hubble, I don't think it's going to be nearly as impressive, even if you were right up to it compared to what we're seeing with Hubble, because they've got to throw the contrast in and they got to color it so that you could see
Right.
the structure. I don't think they'd be beautiful up close, which is very disappointing. Maybe there are some that are somehow extra pretty, but not what never as pretty.
Maybe by then we'll have some kind of modified eye genes that we can see, the ultraviolet.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah,
you
Jordy.
can
We'll
turn
have our
it on.
Jordy visors.
Yeah,
Ultraviolet.
the
we'll,
visor.
we'll see everything from gamma
Whatever it
rays
is,
to
yeah.
infrared, man. We'll see it all.
And so it'll be like, ooh, check it out.
It'll
You
be
can
Something
turn it
will,
on.
yeah, and our
George,
brains
do
will
you-
process that flawlessly. No problem.
Have you watched Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dr. What?
often especially when he meets a new companion or whatever, he
Yeah.
asks them, all right, we have the TARDIS. We can go anywhere in time and space. Where do you
Right.
want to go?
Right.
And so first of all, why is he asking them? They don't know anything.
Right.
Right? And they never give the right answer, which is to ask him,
It's a test.
you take me to the
You
most
take
impressive
me.
place in
Right.
all of time and space.
Right.
You know
Right.
that. I don't have any idea. But one of the things you could ask him is, give me the most beautiful
Right.
vista in the sky from any planet,
Yeah.
anywhere. What is the most beautiful night sky?
Yeah.
That's one of the questions. One of the places I'd want him to take me.
I mean, imagine if you're not too far away from a supermassive black hole with jets extending, from the poles light years,
Mhm.
and the accretion disk. I would think if you're a planet that's far enough away to be safe, I think that could be a hell of a view.
Mhm.
But scary, that could be scary. But that
And
would
for
be
more on accretion discs, tune in to tomorrow's episode,
Yes.
The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, in which
Mhm.
or a
Bob
nice
has
galaxy ride.
lots of comments about that.
Galaxy Rise would be impressive.
Imagine that. Oof.
Hmm.
That is that weird thing with Doctor Who. Like once they've walked in and they say it's bigger on the inside, holy crap. And there is this, it's such a limited window in which that show sort of exists. When you really think about it, when you think if he has access to all time and all space, it tends to be like within this like 4,000 to 5,000 year kind of window of Earth related stuff. He's never going a billion years. I mean, that
he
one
did
episode,
go to the end of the universe once.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay,
it
that
has
one
an end.
episode where he had to punch through the diamond wall.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful.
Didn't
Love
Kirk
that
and
episode.
Spock go to
Beautiful.
the end of the universe too? In
Well,
Star
they
Trek
might have,
5?
Yeah.
Oh,
When has God in the starship?
that movie never happened, did it?
I like that one. That one gets a
You
bad
did?
rap.
You liked
Yeah,
5?
that one gets a bad rap.
Which one?
5.
5.
Search for the.
Quest for God, or what the hell is it
what is
called?
The undiscovered country.
No, that's
No, that was 6.
5
was
is,
the Final Frontier. Yeah, the
no,
Final
that's
Frontier. Isn't that what it's
6.
called?
6 is the Final Frontier. Yeah,
Is
Yeah.
5.
it's the center of the galaxy. Then at the end of the it's like that. They go to the center.
They go to the
Something.
center.
Center of something, and then it's got
It
that
was-
big shield, and they go through the shield, and then the big bearded guy wants a starship, and Kirk says, "What does God want with a starship?"
Oh, so what was it you liked about that one?
I liked I thought it was funny. I thought some of the
So you watched it ironically.
no. Some of the back and forth between Scotty,
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I liked the idea that it wasn't God because it was supposed to be God originally. Kirk Shatner got to direct that thing solely because he and Leonard Nimoy had a favored nations clause in their contract. Whatever one got, the other got, because
gosh.
Nimoy had directed.
Nimoy did 4, 3, and 4.
2 and 3.
Oh.
3 and 4. Sorry,
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Yeah, he was like, you're allowed to direct one of these. So then he wanted to do, let's go meet God. But then they didn't make it with God.
Mhm.
I don't know. Cybok is awful. Like, by the way, I have a half brother. What? Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
You
never
mentioned
talked
that?
about him.
You never mentioned that? What the hell?
So,
But in terms of, it's better than Nemesis. I'll give you that
Mhm.
much. I'd rather watch 5 than Nemesis any day.
Nemesis. Yeah, with
Yeah.
what's his name? Tom
The
Hardy
last-
was in
The
that,
Last
right?
Generation. The last
Wasn't
Next
Tom
Generation.
Hardy?
film.
Yeah.
The
No,
bad
I didn't
guy
like
in that
any of the Next Generation.
Oh, really? Oh my God. The one where they're fighting the Borg. I thought
Yeah,
that
the
was
Borg one was it. That was the only
That
good
was
one.
It was the
Right.
first one, right?
It's the
Oh,
first
yeah.
like fully
first
Next Generation.
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Watch that again.
Generations. Was it Generations?
Yeah.
Is that the
No,
one?
The
Generations.
one where they
is the
meet
one with
Zephram
the Spock.
Cochrane. That one.
Yeah.
That was the only good one. That was
Yeah,
good.
First Contact. Thank you,
First
John Norm
Contact,
said it. First
yeah.
Contact is still
Ugh.
that's so fun, and the whole the whole when Picard has his whole speech when he throws the gun through the wall. No more. We draw the line here.
Yeah.
He does.
Great.
He did say that.
It's great. And Alfred Woodard is great, and it's just that is really good. And even the one after that with the Fountain of Youth planet has some fun moments to it, and then Nemesis just shits the bed, as it were.
Are you a Kirk man or a Picard man? Who's
Picard.
your favorite captain?
I mean, come on, like you have to really ask.
Yeah, I do.
It's
Picard.
Here's Bob as Kirk.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
I've been watching. I got rid of my cable. Right, I finally got rid of my cable because I have all the streaming services.
Well
so all I have is like channels 2 through 13, which in a strange way is really refreshingly wonderful. Because you can't surf, you can't think something must be on, because once you do a quick lap, you realize nothing's on, and so you go read a book or you turn Netflix on or whatever. But I have MeTV, which is it's all old TV shows like it's great. It's MASH.
It's wonderful
it's
stuff on here.
It's Hogan's Heroes.
Stuff that you forgot about. Like,
it's
all
Greatest American Hero. All
Big
that
Valley.
That's not on there, but it's all like basically 1970 and before, and they have Star Trek.
Yeah.
And so the Star Trek they have is the one with the redone effects,
Yeah, which is good.
And so I've been
worth it.
Taping those, and watching them. And I gotta say, for the most part, they're pretty terrible. The shows are pretty terrible.
Well,
the acting is pretty terrible. There's some cool ideas, but I really do hate watch those now because
oh my god, dude! So you didn't watch them growing up?
I watched just a couple here and there. There's tons I've never seen, and it's like
it's the diff.
I've never seen this one. I've never heard of this one.
I could never say
this is
that.
Terrible.
Oh, some of them are cringe.
So there are some total clunker episodes. There's a lot of gems in there.
And the children shall lead.
Oh god!
I mean, you say the best episode pretty much universally is seen as The City on the Edge of Forever.
Yeah.
That's kind of universally said as the best one.
It's definitely top five.
It wasn't my total favorite.
It's terrible. Terrible. Come on.
Oh man,
George,
Kirk sees the woman
he sees her for 20 seconds and he's in love.
Well, that's a trope. That's like how
Well, that's what I mean. It's so full of
months,
garbage tropes. I'm not a Lost in Space. Oh my god, please.
Trouble with Tribbles is also really good.
That's fun. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Like I did
It's
see
a fun
that one
episode.
recently.
The series premiere with Shatner, where no man has gone before. That's a wonderful episode, man. That's great. Love it.
I have a very hard time.
Spock's brain. Oh my god, that
brain.
lesson in neurology that we all received with that.
When they first encounter the Romulans. That
Balance of
Terror.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. But
Gosh, I can't remember. I can't believe I remember.
How about the Doomsday
Machine?
I'm great. You are great.
Of course, Kirk is overacting in every episode, but that's like part of the charm.
That is,
I guess.
So I agree. Patrick Stewart blows away William Shatner as an actor, but I actually think Kirk is a better captain than Picard.
So George, you know that
100%.
You know that Star Trek got canceled after the first season, but it was a petition writing campaign by the fans that brought it back for seasons 2 and 3. Originally. Yeah. I mean, that's how.
And we could also thank Lucille Ball for the.
Desilu Productions.
Mission Impossible and Star Trek are because of Lucille Ball.
Oh gosh, Lucille Ball, what she meant to television, you wouldn't have. Oh my, she helped form the whole industry.
They did the Cage.
She's amazing.
The series premiere with Pike, and they said, "Oh, it's too cerebral," and she's like, let's have them do another premiere, another episode.
Yeah, second pilot,
which is never done. That's not done.
They said get rid of the woman and get rid of the guy with the ears.
Oh yeah, and they refused.
And they didn't. And Roddenberry said no.
I liked Pike. I loved what was his name? Jeffrey Hunter. I really liked him.
He was good.
I thought he was great.
Did you, George? Did you watch the Where No Man Has Gone Before, the Pike series, the recent season?
Oh, the newest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have Paramount Plus, so I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to get Paramount and I'm going to
download it. Really good.
I heard it's great. Yeah, I heard it's really good.
My favorite episode is the Balance of Terror episode. They have an entire episode where Pike is given a vision of a future that he's about to create by making a decision that he shouldn't make, without getting into too many details. And it basically, you get to see how that episode would play out if Pike were captain of the Enterprise.
Okay.
And it's marvelous. It was
Yeah.
marvelous.
Yeah, that's cool. I've heard really good things. So yeah, I do want to watch that. I'm excited for season 3 of Picard, even though seasons 1 and 2 were really disappointing.
Number 2 pissed me off.
1 was okay. 2 was like, what?
2 was a joke. It's like, all right.
Here we go.
All right. Here's a season with Picard. It's another season. First one was okay. Second season, all right. And there's Borg. There's actually Borg in this second season. Right? That sounds fantastic. They spend 90% of the entire season in 2022. Like, this is science fiction.
Bob will never get over it.
I do not want to see 2022.
Money. It's all about money.
85% of an entire season. Give me a break.
Yeah.
That was just like
no, the first season started great. It had all this potential, and then when they turned Picard into an android, spoiler, it's just like, what?
Even that was better than the middle chunk of season 2. Remember the first 2 episodes of season 2? It was great. It was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. And then it just went to shit because they went back
like
in
season
time.
1. First episode of season 1 was like, this is going to be fantastic. What a great setup. This is so cool. And then just, but the cast is back, so hopefully we're such idiots.
You always have hope.
We're such idiots, man. It's like we wait for the Star Wars movies, we wait for the Star Trek things. We keep getting burned.
We are Charlie Brown kicking the football.
It's unbelievable, right? But why is that?
Indiana Jones 12?
Indiana Jones 5, right? Which, like, I know it's not going to be good. I am excited for it though, because
which one?
Is it the?
We are conditioned.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the newest Indiana Jones is coming in June, right?
It's feasible.
Great trailer. It's a great trailer.
It could be good. It's possible. It's within the realm of possibility. Imagine if it was really
What
good.
is that? Is it the 14-year-olds that's still a significant chunk of our id that is just like so excited and just the prospect of any kind of entertainment,
the possibility that we could recapture
right?
that awesomeness is worth the disappointment when they fail.
The repeated disappointment of failure.
The other thing is that it's not a universal failure, because it's like playing the lotto, the lottery machine. You hit just often enough to keep you going. So, like we talked about this recently with Star Wars, all the disappointment. But the thing is, some of the more recent series have been fantastic. I think that my favorite Star Wars property right now is Andor.
Andor,
yeah. Have you seen it?
I have not. I watched the first episode and then just haven't gotten back into it. But
it's
great.
Really good. I mean, it's really it's just good TV. It's good.
50 years into this series, it's like, oh, there's one good thing we can enjoy.
That's more than that. The Mandalorian is also very good. Going into its 3rd season, the first 2 seasons I thought hit it out of the park.
Mandalorian.
The Star Trek Rebels cartoon, as a cartoon goes, was fantastic.
Obi-Wan,
so there's a lot of good properties in there.
Yeah, I know, but it just
I liked Rogue One. I thought Solo was okay. It was a good movie. It wasn't
was okay.
The other thing is our expectations are so high that even if you get a good movie, you're like, oh, that was just good.
That's why you got to see them a second time sometimes. So because then your expectations are normalized, and you may appreciate it better the second time. Yeah. So sometimes it's a good strategy.
And spread out your watching a little bit.
But
anything else?
7, 8, 9 were shit. They were just absolute shit.
Is there anything else in our lives that are like that we keep kind of going back to? Like I think there must be a religion analog of like someone that's Catholic, let's say, that keeps reading about abuses in the church, right? And they just kind of go, yeah, it's kind of crappy, but I still go to church because I go to church. Like, is there anything else that's like that? I mean, are there bands that are like that maybe sometimes, or you think like, I think I'm like that with Yes, because I keep going to see them and they keep being like,
but you expect them to be different. Yeah, you expect especially prog rock bands to be different almost each time they come out. And it's kind of a crapshoot as far as what you're going to get. You have to expect these changes.
The last couple albums have just been like, like I want to love it. I want to be that.
I got that way with I got that way with Jethro Tull. Huge
Oh, there you
Tull
go.
fan in the
Okay.
70s. Love their 70s stuff, and then the 80s hitting it, and then
Are
the
there
more
authors
recent
like
stuff
that?
is terrible.
Are there any authors that are like that you still read just because it's almost like you're beholden?
Authors?
I can't think
I
of
don't
anybody.
know. Game
Martin.
of Thrones.
Yeah.
He said
Game of
read.
Thrones, like the first trilogy was fucking awesome, and then kind of hit a rough patch.
Game
Yeah.
of Thrones.
But you had to read the next book, right? Because you're invested in the
Right.
story, and then it's like, what is happening? You get completely lost in the weeds, and I keep it. When's you gonna bring it home? Bring it on home, Martin. Come on, and never. Just I haven't read the very last book because it's not out yet.
Right.
So I'm just going, and I can't go on the
Well, you'll read it though,
the
right?
HBO storyline because they just totally shit the bed for the last 2 seasons.
You will read it though, right? You'll get it when it comes
Oh
out.
yeah, I gotta see how the series ends. I want to see,
Steve, is it Stephen Harris, the guy that wrote Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Harris, yeah, that got worse and worse. Like so, that by the end of, Hannibal, the book Hannibal was like it was great, and then it ends. You're like, what? What the hell? That was awful. Like the last 2 chapters of Hannibal were like,
it's easier to begin a story than
It's
to end
easy.
it. It is.
Always.
Look at Lost.
I love how Hannibal.
Battlestar Galactica.
There you go.
That's it.
Says it all.
No, because it's you can generate mystery and and intrigue and questions and everything, and that's exciting, and you speculate. But then you got to tie it up at the end in a satisfying way, and authors fail more often than not.
But that's the whole enchilada, man. It's like anyone can make a mystery.
Yeah.
You can make a mystery. Whoa, who did this? The room is locked. How was the person killed?
Yeah, right.
That's easy. Like you can make the thing that's the real art and artifice, or the artistic nature of like creating a story, is having this idea. Like, and that's why something like Lost really upsets me, because when they started, they had no idea. They had no idea. Figure it out, and it's like.
No, you can't write that way.
You can't write that way. You really can't.
No.
Like it's so rare to pull it together at the end when you're just.
Have you guys
Stephen
watched
King
it
does it. He's the only
time?
guy that does it.
Have you watched Lost the second time?
No.
I have, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, if it loses its way at the end, it was still worth it because there's so many great characters and acting and writing.
The ride was fun.
It was wonderful. Second time, I enjoyed the second watch. I wasn't that frustrated. It's like, you knew what was coming. Like, all right, whatever.
My threshold is that whatever the answer is to the mysteries has to be more interesting than the fan theories. Including myself. Like if I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's A, B, or C, and it turns out to be something worse than what I was thinking about, that's not a good thing. Yeah, that's I think where a lot of the disappointment comes from.
I don't remember where I got this. I just got it online somewhere.
Don't open it.
Is that the Pandorica?
Don't open it.
It's empty. I mean, it doesn't move. I have seen some that you could buy that will actually move. I don't think they open a portal to hell, but this one doesn't. I forget. Just Google it. I mean, you could find it. It was only like $20. It looked.
Is there a point to this?
Yeah.
Someone asked in the chat.
Yeah, Bob's a pinhead.
I saw the remake. I saw the remake of Hellraiser. It was decent. I enjoyed it. I think it was worth a watch.
It's a female pinhead, right?
Yes.
There was a female pinhead in one of the movies, wasn't there? Though.
Yes. Yep. The originals. Yeah, the originals are kind of dated at this point. The optical effects are just kind of like, what's happening? But the new one was worth it. I think I enjoyed it.
Evan, do you want to do your quiz?
Oh yeah, we could do a quiz. Let's see. What do I do here? I share my screen, I believe.
True.
All right, we're doing a quiz, yo.
Red pie.
Specific window.
11.
Wait
for it.
False.
Get the game board going. Here we go. It is in Jeopardy format, as you know.
Oh no!
George, you love this.
Scores too now.
Well, in case you want them, I could redo it without them if you want.
No, that's fine.
So the board game that we wound up playing to this particular trivia slate was called Veggie Garden. So, of course, the first two categories were veggie and garden. And then I came up with the third category called basket. And then the fourth is called who knows what? Who knows what? Who knows what, right?
Are we just
Could be
screaming out
anything.
answers? How does this work?
So I'm going to reveal the answer, and just whoever buzzes it first. And you don't have to answer it in the form of a question. It's just whoever gets it right first. We're not that strict here. And I was told that start keeping some scores for people. So and we're not going to go with negative points, okay? My experiments,
points.
My experiments with both doing it here on the Friday live stream and also on the live games we do on Monday nights. Which game first? You can tune in to YouTube and all the other social media channels to watch us play the games and do this trivia. Is that when I incorporated negative points, it brought down the level of participation. It's some sort of psychological effect that definitely is in play.
It's called strategy. You don't want to guess if you're not sure.
But it brought it down to the point where the entertainment I felt suffered. So therefore, because this is fun and entertainment, no negative scores. How's that?
Sounds
George,
good. Don't look at the chat. They're going to be guessing in the chat, so just don't look at the chat.
My guitar is a Taylor T5, by the way. People have asking what the guitar is. It's a Taylor T5 hybrid acoustic electric.
It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
What about irrational number scores? Can we do that?
Yes, just
I could always come up with different scores. I'm in full control. But in any case, George, you're our special guest. So why don't you take it away?
Let's go who knows what for 200, please.
Who knows what for 200? Type A, type
What
B.
type?
Mother.
Steve, did you say?
It was Steve. Yeah, it was Steve.
What was the answer? Blood, right?
Blood type.
200 for Steve. Blood
well,
type AB.
that was kind of a tie, but whatever.
Oh wait. Oh, we said blood type. We didn't.
Well, I just said blood type.
Oh, you just said blood
Who
type.
said AB?
I did type AB.
So Ian gets it. Ian gets it.
No, I didn't. I didn't. It was, but I just said it now.
Nobody gets it.
skip
I
it.
misheard.
Wow.
Everyone blurted out something at the same time.
Yeah,
Nobody gets
we
points
just-
for that one.
I didn't read the whole
Yeah.
question. I just went.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
I'm gonna use the George method of keeping score, and you just make up scores as you go. George, you can still control this board.
Let's try the who knows what for 400, please.
They are most commonly mistaken as
Contrails.
Contrail.
Steve got
Paper
that right.
trails,
They're
yeah.
contrails. 400 points for Steve.
600.
Your board, Steve. The oldest tenants
Wimbledon.
couldn't even finish it. Who
cool,
got it
yeah.
first, George or Steve?
I think I did.
Yeah, I give it
Yeah, I
George.
think
George
George
for
is first.
600. It is in
Way to
fact
go, George.
Wimbledon. I say. George?
Who knows 800?
On the color wheel, it is half green and half yellow.
Blue?
Nope. Bob, come on. Funny.
Half green and half.
What's in between green and yellow? 50% green, 50% yellow. What's it called?
What is
I'm not even looking at the. I should be looking at the answers, I guess. Of what people. are giving.
cyan?
Reduce my screen.
Is it
Magenta?
cyan?
It is not cyan.
No.
See if anyone got it. Brandon got it. It is in fact chartreuse.
Chartreuse. That's on the color wheel.
George, your board.
Who knows for 1,000, please?
And we'll end the category, George. Who knows what for 1,000? On a balance sheet, assets must always equal
P&L?
liabilities plus
Oh, wait.
this. Ian, no, that's not correct.
Oh,
Expenses.
assets must always these.
Here's your one accounting.
Yeah,
expenses
always
review in front of
equal
me.
liability.
What'd you say, George?
Expenses?
Nope, not expenses. That's a
Income?
great guess, though. Nope, not income, Steve. That's
No,
also a great guess.
liabilities.
Expenses and income are on a profit and loss statement, not a balance sheet. Balance sheet has three things: assets, liabilities, and let's see if anyone from the
Cost of
chat is getting it.
bill of goods or cost of goods. Or
I'm
IQ.
reading expenses, bribes, taxes, lies.
Penis girth.
But
Inheritance.
STV 607 said equity, and that is correct. Capital or equity.
Capital.
The
Jeez
missing
Louise.
part
Oh,
of that
Nice,
equation.
good one.
Liabilities.
All right,
and
All right.
Mm.
George, you still control this hot mess.
Let's go veggie for 1,000, please.
Wow, veggie for 1,000. A red-colored member of the Brassicaceae family. I believe I'm pronouncing that right.
Red
Brassicaceae.
colored.
Red colored.
Red-colored member of the Brassicaceae.
What's a radish?
George.
Wow.
What the
good.
fuck? Nice,
for the big
George.
1,000.
Woo!
Not
Man.
easy. One of the, definitely, I thought that was the hardest one of all the questions.
Oh,
So
it makes
George.
I can
Let's
totally
go
see now. Way to
veggie
go,
for
George.
800, please.
Bob, you love veggies, right?
Yeah. No.
Known in Australia and New Zealand as grama or grama, if I don't have to pronounce that.
What is grandmother?
No, it's
I don't know. Potato.
Tomato?
Tangerine.
No, not tomato, not tangerine. The category
Not a
veggies,
potato either.
Not
Oh,
grandma.
veggie, yeah.
Let's see if anyone from the chat is
What is
getting
corn?
it. We got not a clue. We got
Spice.
spice. No, not unless the
Spice.
veggie is
Outer
peanut
spice.
butter.
Carrot?
Nope. Apple Smith. It's not a carrot.
Grandma.
It's not a carrot. The answer is butternut squash.
What?
Butternut
Jeez.
squash.
That's
funny.
that is funny, and I don't really
I don't
think
think
anyone
it's
from
funny
the
at all.
who got it from
They're
the
not
chat.
wanting
No
to say
one, not that I saw.
Squash.
I'm trying to incorporate, some of our other listeners from around the
Yeah.
world and
Throw 'em a
getting
bone.
them involved. So that's done now.
Let's
George.
let's go. Oh, let's 600 veggie, please.
Okay. These are crossbreeds of turnips and wild cabbage.
Brussels sprouts.
No, good guess.
Shit.
Not Brussels sprouts.
Turnips and cabbage.
What is
Parsnips.
turnips?
Oh, it's a very good guess, Ian, but no, not parsnips. You're in the right world though.
What is? Oh, I know. What is?
Fennel. What is fennel?
Not fennel.
Oh,
That's a spice, right?
well,
See if anyone from the
fennel
chat's
root
getting
is
it.
like a.
Rhubarb.
You're close, Steve. I think you're thinking of something else, not
Yeah.
rhubarb, but close to
Rutabaga?
that sound. Yes, rutabaga.
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 Chat got it.
With a little help, Steve got that one correct.
All right, 400. Let's keep
Veggie.
going in the-
Not just orange; they can also be white, yellow, red, and purple.
Swiss
Or
chard.
Carrots.
Damn it.
Who said carrots first?
I did.
Yeah.
No,
I
you
said-
didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't.
All right.
It's hard to
That's
tell
fine.
with
Go
the
to Steve.
delay.
Neutral
Steve,
observer.
Steve
We
got
need
it.
a neutral.
Doesn't matter.
observer.
Just give us. I said it before I heard you say it.
Steve
but
got
it's-
it. George
Yeah.
got it. Ian
Oh,
got it,
God.
and Bob got it. Okay.
No, I think
Everyone.
I said Swiss chard. So
In fact, the orange color was the last one to occur. It was a fortuitous mutation, but once it happened, it basically cured vitamin A deficiency in Europe.
Sweet.
Carrots became.
And do
a
you know the
staple.
whole
Carrots are-
carrot thing with the RAF? The
Yeah. What's up,
Royal
Doc?
Air
Yeah.
Force.
Yep,
How they said that
Dodge.
it helped with eyesight and it
with
doesn't.
night.
It's
night
bullshit.
with
vision.
night vision.
Night
It
vision.
doesn't? They said that their pilots were
That's crazy.
eating large amounts of carrots because they realized that beta carotene helped dilate pupils and it made night vision better for pilots. What they were hiding was the fact that they had developed radar technology.
Yep.
They didn't want the Germans to know that
Yes.
they had radar. So the
It
Germans
was a
started growing
ruse.
carrots. They started growing vast amounts of carrots to feed to their Air Force because the RAF knew it was going to be a total waste of time.
Those tricky
It's
bastards.
so great. It's one of my favorite World War II stories.
I knew that.
And to this day, people think carrots help eyesight, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
You just haven't had enough of it, though. It may eventually help your eyesight before it turns totally orange, which it will do. Who's next?
Steve's board.
Steve, you control this board.
Garden for 1,000.
Garden for 1,000. The origin of the word garden ties back to this word, which is also a unit of measurement.
Yard.
Cubit.
Wait, what'd you say, George?
Yard.
And George is correct. With the yard.
Yarden.
Wow.
Way to go,
Nice,
George.
dude.
Very good.
Yard.
Yep, garden, yard,
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Garden for 800, please.
Garden for 800. This genus of flowering plant was named in tribute to Scottish botanist Alexander Gardner.
Gardenia.
Bob!
Nicely done.
Nice.
Good
Bob.
job,
Well
Bob.
done. Well played.
Not lucky.
You got it.
Garden
Oh.
for 600.
Under the sea, it lies in the shade, and I'd like to be there.
What
An
is a
What?
octopus's garden? Octopus's garden.
Yeah, Steve got it. He got the whole
What?
thing. It's
What the hell is
Octopus's
that?
garden. George, okay, I got to look at the camera, see what kind of face George is making right now. Yikes, exactly as I expected.
Mm-hmm.
When
What
you
the hell
said
is
what?
that?
Bob, you say it again, Bob. You really not know what Octopus's garden is?
No, never heard of it.
It's a Beatles song.
Yeah.
In an
All right.
octopus's garden under the sea.
And
Oh,
speaking of
okay.
Beetle,
Beatles.
George is going to beat you when he's next to sees you.
With the old
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. All right.
Garden for 400.
Anagram of garden, meaning the possibility of suffering harm or injury. Anagram, garden. Mix up the letters. What do you get?
Danger.
Danger?
George, you were almost there.
Is it danger? Oh,
you got it. Yeah,
I had it. I didn't say it because I thought it was wrong.
How about on guard? How do you spell on guard?
E-N-G-A-R-D-E. If it was Gardini, then I guess that could have worked.
All right.
Okay.
Basket for 600.
Basket for 600. The oldest basket discovered in 2021 is over 10,000 years old and was discovered in this Middle Eastern country.
What is Iraq?
Not Iraq.
What's Iran?
Not Iran. And I don't think that's technically Middle East, but in any case.
What is Jordan?
Not Jordan, but you're getting closer.
Close.
What is the land known as Palestine?
Can you be more specific?
Israel. I don't know. Gaza.
It is Israel.
Israel.
Yes. 10,000-year-old intact basket. That's pretty darn cool. Ian.
800.
If you were playing ice hockey, you would want to put this
What is
in
the
the
puck?
basket.
No. Okay.
Yes, but no. How does the phrase go when you
Oh,
put it
pig
in
in a
the
black.
basket?
Pig in a
It's
blanket.
not a pig. No.
Oh.
I want to see if anyone from the
Pig in a
chat is
basket.
gonna get this right. Everyone says
there's
puck, but it's technically Fred Bremer from Vancouver got it right. It is the biscuit. You put the biscuit in the basket. Well done, Fred.
No idea. 1,000.
Biscuit. I had no idea.
You put the biscuit in the basket. Okay. There's an office building in this United States state designed to look like a basket.
What's New York? What's Georgia?
Not New York.
What's California?
Illinois.
What's Detroit?
Milwaukee. Minnesota.
Not Minnesota.
Ohio.
Yes, George, it is Ohio.
No, not Ohio.
Yeah, and you can look it up
What is it?
online. It's the basket building. There was a design company. They designed baskets, and the building, if you look it up online, looks like a picnic basket. Basically, it's an amazing photo. I'll try to pull it up after we're done. All right, just a couple to go.
Yes, there it is.
400, please.
400. This is the title of a.
What is basket case?
Yay, George! Of course.
Yeah, you're waiting for it, George.
All right, just a couple 200s to clean up.
200 basket.
It rubs this on its skin.
Lotion.
Ian got it first.
Ian got it. Nice job, Ian.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
Just put the fucking basket.
That's one of the scariest bad guys.
Would you?
Would
you? Garden.
Would you?
Okay.
Ironically, this world famous arena is not located on Madison
Square Garden.
George, Steve, you're right. Madison Square Garden. And the
Which
last
one?
one.
Pick? Right.
Eat your veggies for 200. Botanically, it's
Tomato.
a fruit, but yeah, of course.
Nice.
It's like the only one, right?
No, there's a ton of stuff that fits that category. Actually,
there is, but as a 200-point category, question in Jim.
Tomato.
Yeah,
it's like the first
all
one.
Squashes of
The answer's
fruit.
tomato.
Yeah,
everything's fruit.
Nice tomato.
So let's see. Bob 800, Ian 1,000, Steve 2,600. George is the winner with 4,000.
George, you crushed it.
Nice, George.
Our
You
special
should run a game
Ohio.
show or something. You should do something.
Yeah.
And I should have got Chris's garden one too, but that's fine.
I got that
basket building.
What are you, some kind of vegetarian, George?
Avocado is a fruit. That's a good one.
Let's see.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
I get all anxious.
You can take the screen off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
basking
things.
basking in George's. Basking in
victory.
George's.
Let me have the small victories of life, please.
Can you zoom in on that?
As we end this and I go back to my empty house, let me just have this. For a second.
There you go. Just a little bit bigger. Whoops.
Oh no! Now you covered up the.
Oh no. Well. Fuck it.
Oh
boy! I go to my lonely, cold kitchen to make something that'll fill my empty belly with hugs.
Also, a lot of things that you think of are nuts are not nuts.
That's true.
They're culinary
peanuts?
nuts, but they're not
Like
botanical nuts.
like Lady Gaga.
They're
That's
legumes.
Legumes, right? Or
Legumes.
seeds.
Or
Legume
seeds. Yeah.
Gaga.
Like pine nuts.
Right.
You ever see a cashew apple?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a whole apple for one little
Thing.
thing on the bottom of it. Like,
There
what
it
is
is, by the
it?
way.
Pigs. Yeah, there is a
They should
building.
cost $1 million. Like, why are cashews like $4 a pound?
They probably grow
You're
quick.
growing this
Pistachios
entire
are very
Well,
expensive.
they use the cashew apple as to
Yeah.
feed pigs or something. I mean, they use it.
No, I know, but still, it's like you get this whole for one nut. It's like, what?
Isn't part of it poisonous?
a lot of hungry
It is
pigs.
poison.
All of it's
Cashews are
poisonous.
It's
It's
all
amazing.
poison.
Everything you eat, like raw, is poisonous, and somehow they figured out. Oh no, you
Like
have to boil it for
almonds.
6 months,
Steam
bury
it.
it in lye, put it into a paper bag, then you put it in a plastic bag, then you
The
put it back
worst
in the paper
one-
bag, then you boil it again, and then you can eat it. Otherwise, it
George,
kills you.
You're joking, but if you remember the first time we went to Australia, we went to the museum, like a native museum, and they told the story of like the root that is like a staple food for this.
Taro.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
don't think it was taro, something even worse. But it was
It's like 10 steps.
There's a 13-week process. It's like a 13-week process
13 weeks. Who's
You
got
have
that
to
kind
mash
before
it
you.
with the water. You
Yeah.
squeeze it, you dry it, you mash it again, you burn it, and then you take the thing, you soak it, and then you bury it, and then you soak it, and then you mash it, and you
It was
bury it, and you burn it.
And then
And at
13.
any point, if you have it, it'll kill you, except that 13th week. Like,
Guys,
No exaggeration. We are not exaggerating.
Yeah. And like I always imagine like all the dead generations that ate, like they're like, all right, we're gonna try this one more time.
11 weeks. We're at 11 weeks.
We're at 11 weeks. I got a good feeling. Okay. All right. Thag's done. One more time.
12 weeks.
I'm thinking 12. I'm thinking 12. We're gonna be able to do like. Do you see all these corpses behind? I know. But just something about week 12. We're gonna mash it one more time. We're gonna mash it, and the juices. We're gonna separate the juices.
What if we urinate
separated
on
the
it
juices
and
6
then
times.
put it
I
in the
know we've
sun?
separated the juices 6 times. Believe me, this is gonna work. I'm having. All right, let's give it a shot. 12. All right, guys. Call
It
me
was
crazy.
amazing. Like, why aren't they all dead? I don't know.
Madness. It's
There's
like, I mean,
acorn culture. California Native Americans had an acorn culture. It's almost as bad. I mean, acorns are poisonous.
yeah.
You got to leach all the tannin out of them. I mean, again, you had to like soak them in
Oh, the
barrels of
tannin,
water,
yeah.
whatever,
Olives,
for
like
weeks.
you can't eat raw olives because they'll make your pancreas explode or whatever the deal. It's like there's all these things that all of these previous generations just figured out. Like, I mean, even wine, even beer, like, let this stuff rot for a while. Let it rot just enough so that you get high off of it, as opposed to having it kill you or your insides come out next time you go sit behind the rock.
And then
That
like,
just
a lot
goes
of the
to
things.
show. That goes to show the experimentation that people were willing to do.
Not to
goddamn
starve.
Eat, to not starve. I mean, it's like imagine. That's
They took things that were barely edible and turned them into food.
What can we do?
Like you're rolling the dice, eating this. It's like I could die of starvation, or I could die from this thing. I'm going to take a chance, eat this thing. You barely survive. Like, but you know what? This one tasted slightly less bitter than the other ones.
I didn't die as fast.
I didn't die as fast from that. I only threw up twice.
Right.
Do you think they drew straws? Who's going to taste the next one? Draw straws or the
Yeah, but the straws would kill you back then, Bob. That's the thing. You draw a straw, and it's like you're dead. Before they had that straw, that wasn't.
That's where the saying "the last straw"
Poisonous
comes
straw?
from. That's where it comes from.
The straw back then were these huge pieces of grass that could barely even hide.
I'm getting a lot of nice compliments about the quiz. I just want to say thank you for everyone who's complimenting on that. Thank you very much.
Somebody brought up
Evan.
cheese.
Cheese.
Because cheese has
What about
quite a process to make cheese. Yeah. But the thing is, if you stored your milk in a pouch made from the stomach of a calf,
right?
You're good.
The enzymes could make cheese.
And like you put it on the horse and you ride the horse and it agitates it. And they say, and then you get to where you're going, you're like, oh man, this isn't what I thought it was, but it's kind of fun and funky. I kind of like this.
But it's better than nothing, better than starving.
Yeah.
That's the thing. All food up until very recently was better than starving.
Here are your options.
Death
or bugs and worms.
Oh boy. All right, want to take some questions?
Yes.
questions.
We
Okay.
got some questions. Remember, you can go to
And
the
you've
Discord.
curated the best questions.
Yep, totally.
Thousands of submissions.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Let's see.
They're from the
curate.
Discord, everybody. Mind you. So go to the live
Discord.
stream channel for the Discord, and we'll get through it.
Someone said
Actually,
except blue cheese. Blue cheese is not even close to the most disgusting cheese,
Oh
Blue
yeah,
cheese
which
no,
is
there's
has to
good,
be
first of all.
Head
the
cheese.
maggot cheese.
Oh,
the
hang
bug
on.
Literally, they let maggots crawl through the cheese for a few
Yeah.
days because it makes
but-
it tangy.
yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but all
no.
cheese has cheese mites on it.
Just wash
anyway,
it down
so-
with some civet coffee, and you're all
Civet
good.
coffee,
You're
yeah.
good. It tastes delish.
all cheese has little bugs in it anyway, cheese mites and stuff. So it's like
Some,
there's-
yeah, some. You're allowed rodent excrement.
It
and
tastes
stuff
good.
in your food. and stuff.
So actually, there's a first question from Dave who emailed us a little while ago.
Dave's not here, man.
He's not here. He's not here.
George.
But he wants to
60-year-old
know.
or something.
It wasn't the no
my
show
gosh.
too, but I attended the show in Bethlehem, and it was an
Mhm.
extravaganza. And can you tell me the venue and street name of that? It was pre-COVID.
The Ice House, right?
The Ice House, yeah. It's
But it was
it's
it was
River Street.
was it the ice? This was pre-COVID. It was an
Yeah.
extravaganza.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's what I sent him, but he said no.
Didn't
I
believe
think
you.
It
wrong.
must be mistaken.
2018, I think.
We've
maybe?
done 2 extravaganzas in Bethlehem, both in the Ice House.
Both
So-
in the
Both
Ice
in the
House.
Ice House.
Yeah.
So there you go.
141 River Street. 141, something like that. Yeah.
Question for George: can you tell us about that guitar behind you? Oh, you already did that.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a
Good.
Taylor. I don't like playing electric guitar because I've been playing acoustic guitar pretty much my whole life, and so I've been searching for years and years and years like a hybrid that would act.
It's a
that,
hybrid.
that it feels like an acoustic, but that actually can give you some of that nice electric kind of tone and timbre of an electric. And my
Mhm.
buddy Slough said, this Taylor T5 is amazing. And it is. And it's called the T5. It has 5 pickup settings. So it can sound just like an acoustic, which is really lovely. But then you get this combination of pickups and body mics and stuff. And it's I love it. It really, I'm very excited to start playing it out in front of people. So the Taylor
George, you
T5,
and your timbre,
I tell you.
Mr. Timbre. That's
Me and my
right.
timbre, I know.
On last week's episode, the SGU discussed climate change and what changes can society make to make a positive difference. I was listening to NPR this week, and they had a show about composting the dead instead of burying in a casket and headstone.
Yeah.
Opinion? Question mark.
Well, I know there are states passing laws that are allowing it now because I guess it was not considered
Mushroom soup.
illegal before.
I want
but I think
mushroom
New York
soup.
just recently,
Mm.
I think, passed
Mhm.
a law.
What
on
type of
that.
mushroom?
Mushroom soup.
Have you seen these mushroom suits? It's
Mm.
there's a woman. I believe she's Japanese. She designed this. It's like a coat basically that is full of spores, and you put this on the corpse and you get buried with it, and the mushrooms consume you. It's beautiful. I so want this to be the way I go. It's like
Noted.
you're literally recycled into
Mhm.
mushrooms.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of we're going to put you in a really expensive box, hermetically seal you,
Ridiculous.
and put you in a concrete chamber,
Fill you with chemicals.
fill you with chemicals so that to delay the inevitable destruction of your body is just a scam of the industry. You know what I mean? Of the funeral industry.
Mhm.
What's the point of any kind of preservation? I mean,
Well, originally it was for the resurrection. It was this idea that at the end,
course,
we're all going to be together in the big happy heaven place on earth when the second coming happens. So that was the myth of it initially. But then when the funereal industry, basically in the 30s and 40s, kind of just realized, we could make a mint off this by convincing people we have to have preservation. You have to then get the big casket, and it's such a stupid cost. And then even cremation is crazy expensive and really bad for the environment. It's just you're generating these huge temperature shifts. It's just the whole industry is awful. It's absolutely awful.
Steve, I was talking to Mom, and she said to me just a couple of days ago, she's like, when I die, I don't want a cheap coffin like your father. I'm like, we got him. We got him
a cheap coffin.
We got him a reasonable coffin.
It had Wi-Fi.
Deluxe, because why?
Like Bluetooth. He had a Bluetooth coffin.
Deluxe. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
but, you
yeah,
know.
sure, mom. Like, why spending?
Tell her it's going to be great. Tell her it's going
Yeah,
to
just say, just
Yeah.
say,
amazing. You kidding?
It'll be
Double
gorgeous.
decker,
When
Mom.
I
Gorgeous.
die,
guarantee her.
I want to be buried in a. If I get buried, I want to be buried in an old school toe pincher coffin. You know the toe pinchers
Yeah.
Mhm.
and cheap wood. That's what I want because that's my
Reclaimed
favorite
wood.
Bob
Reclaimed
wants to
wood
be on his
toe
porch.
pincher.
He just wants to be propped on his porch.
Yeah, I'm going to be taxidermed, right?
That's all. That's
in a
all Bob
pose,
wants.
yeah.
One good maybe 2 good seasons of being propped on the front lawn.
I could be animated too.
That's right. Yeah. Just
I want to be launched into a high Earth orbit.
there you go.
I want to be
That's
crushed
environmentally
into an
friendly.
artificial gem.
Yeah.
No, dig a hole, put a tree over me. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's kind of
tree's
cool.
good.
But that's like it's like illegal. You can't. It's very difficult to find places that can do that.
That do
There are. They're getting more
environmentally
popular.
friendly.
Yeah, they're getting more popular. But it's like I'd have to probably go upstate New York somewhere to do it. So
Just do it
Put
in
the
your backyard.
money into a party for the survivors.
hell yeah.
$5,000 coffin for fucking what? I mean,
what?
that's
What?
ridiculous.
So it can rot?
For what?
Yeah.
Like
And for an extra
for
$1,000,
one
we can
viewing?
hermetically seal it. No, for what?
Yeah.
And don't
So you
forget
could
the
explode
satin
inside
pillow
when the
that-
gas
for
is
your
built up.
head. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. When you putrefy.
All right. So we have no opinions about that, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
opinion.
nothing we've ever thought about.
Next question.
Does it improve memory like if a smell is added to a memory? So is a location and smell a stronger memory, or isn't that the mind castle memory trick?
I mean, I have not looked into that scientifically. I haven't read any
It would be.
studies on it or anything, but anecdotally, I know people who do that try to associate a strong odor with so that it helps them remember a situation. I certainly, and I'm sure we all have the same experience. You get hit with an odor, and it brings you right back to a situation,
Well, that's
including
because
the feeling and the memory just are
the
like,
odor
automatically triggered. Yeah, we know why.
Your olfactory senses are tightly linked to the limbic system, which is your
Yeah.
emotions. So that's why it hits you so hard. But I think as a general strategy, the more triggers you have to a memory, that's the key. If you want to remember something, make a lot of triggers, not just smell, but any other things that could trigger it for you. That's the key.
Those are
I've
mnemonic
told you-
devices. They're fine.
I've told you guys my product idea. I think we've talked about this in the past. My Smemory.
With memory.
Yeah,
you did.
So you go to a concert, right? And like you're going to go see this band in concert and you want to really remember the concert. You buy a can of Smemory, and the can itself has a very specific smell that's in it, and they're all unique. They're all like there's 100 different variations. And so you're at the concert and you pop the Smemory can and you smell it and you observe the thing and you're smelling the thing and you have the thing and then you put that away. Years later, you get that same flavor of Smemory that you have associated with that concert or that event or that wedding, whatever it was, and then you can pop it and you brought back to there and you have this lovely Smemory. I think it's $1 million idea.
I like it. Great name.
No response at all. Just
I'm
nothing. Just
thinking about it.
Yeah.
I like it, George.
I want to see the product research, George. That's what
Yeah, I want to see the R&D costs.
Hey,
and the,
I'm not making any medical claims. It's just a supplement.
There's
It's
not
not
been
been
approved by
Your
the
reviewed
results
FDA.
will vary.
Not been reviewed
results.
by the FDA or any other.
I just like saying Smemory.
Yeah.
all alone on the pavement.
I mean, that's a better idea than Jay's Homeopops. I'll tell you that.
That was
What's
my
that?
idea. It wasn't Jay's. And please,
Oh,
Homeopops
Oh,
was a
Jay had the
brilliant
colored
idea.
crystal. Jay had
Yeah.
the color therapy, whatever that was. I forget.
Yeah.
Or
Perry and I came up with the Homeopops.
Oh, that's right. It was you and Perry.
Is it just water? Is it just ice cubes? Is it just
Yeah, you
frozen
take
water?
you sell popsicles and you say they were infused with whatever remedy
cherry.
you
Yeah.
choose.
Love it.
For your cold or whatever, your sinus infection. Here you go. Here's a Homeopop for fight your sinuses.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Different colors and flavors for different
Yep,
general
for different-
sorts of ailments.
Great.
Cold
Fun-
symptoms, take the blue one. If you're running a
Mhm.
fever, take
Makes
the
sense.
purple
Take the
one.
red,
If you're
right.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
For
If you're bleeding out,
exercise, take the green one. For sexual enhancement, you take whatever.
the little blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple. Mhm.
Well, they had
what-
the study on Viagra about the heart health and stuff. It like improves heart health. Now they did like some 20-year study on Viagra.
Hard health.
Yeah, that too.
Well, those drugs were developed for cardiac treatment, and then they were repurposed as boner pills.
Yeah. But they've
That
now
was
been
a
able to
side
study
effect.
it for like
Cares?
25,
I know, they were
25,
like,
30 years now of study.
That was a
Yeah,
fun
they-
side
they-
effect.
this
Who
drug
gives a
has
shit?
a-
Look at
has-
this. This is
I know.
fantastic.
That was a side effect, and
Yeah.
somebody at the pharmaceutical comes like,
Hey.
that side effect is an effect. We'll make $1 billion.
Yeah.
And
it
they
wasn't
made
like
$100 billion,
Yeah.
in fact, about
Eggplant.
Boner pills.
Eggplant over his head. What films or series hit the mark with their endings?
Ooh, interesting. What's
6 Feet Under.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking
yeah.
Next
Bad.
Generation.
Absolutely.
The Americans.
I haven't seen the end yet, so shut up.
The Americans.
satisfying?
Better Call Saul?
ending.
Better Call Saul. I haven't seen the
Saul.
ending yet. I mean, the
Also,
last,
as
last
well as
couple
Breaking
seasons.
Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad. You said.
Yeah, Next Generation was fantastic. Last
Next
episode.
Generation was perfectly cromulent.
That was good.
It's not
Deep
yeah,
Space
there's
Nine.
movies. It's not really the end, but
Yeah.
yeah.
What other movies were good?
Maybe
I mean, I
it's
think
like movie
the,
series Fellowship was good.
The Back to
the
the
original
Future trilogy.
Yes, Back to
tied
the
up
Future.
nicely.
I will defend Back to the Future 3.
Yeah, Back to the
Yes.
Future you
Yeah.
could defend. I'll do the
I should
the
watch
Lord
that
of the
again.
Rings, the
I
original.
saw it once in the theater and never
original three.
again.
Someone said Futurama. Yeah, it had like 5
Future
different
3.
endings, but yeah.
Mhm.
definitely.
3's really fun, Bob. It's really fun.
Yeah, I got okay memories from it. I should watch
Take
it
a
again.
can and smell the.
Question: did anyone ever get the golden ticket that's on the USB drive? I think. I don't think anybody has
Nope.
reported.
It's
that they got it.
unclaimed. It's unclaimed. I don't know if
at least.
anybody has it, but it's unclaimed.
Yeah. Yep. The other thing that is unclaimed is the copy of the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe book, which I have right here, that has the special page.
Also
page,
has a golden ticket in it.
which
No,
had a
unclaimed.
golden ticket in it, and that has not been
Unclaimed.
claimed
It's
yet.
just Jay writing the N word over and over on that one page. Yeah, it's very strange.
All
but
work and no play makes Jay a dull boy. That's
valuable.
what it says.
Valuable.
Valuable.
The whole book is that.
Yeah.
That would be a golden ticket.
Okay. Visto Tutti also asked
fit.
for one of the next year's live streams. This was from last year. Would the Rogues want to team up with the Merseyside Skeptics for a transatlantic live stream?
Those guys.
Those
We'd
guys.
have to talk to our
Gals.
tech guy about that.
Yeah, some guy.
Yeah.
We'll see. We could
Merseyside.
put out
We
a
can't
we're-
because
we're-
their dongles are metric and ours are all
That's true.
standard,
Yeah.
so we can't.
Yeah,
we
their
can't
internet's
do the-
wrong.
That's one of my favorite names for local skeptics group, the Merseyside Skeptics, because Merseyside, I don't know, it's just Liverpool and Beatles. It's so cool. Merseyside. Love it.
Those guys are too smart. That's the problem.
Oh, they are
Make us
smart.
look
They're
bad.
too erudite and too smart. Makes us look like real Americans.
We should have a
It's like-
trivia
Yeah.
contest against them.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Yanks versus the Limeys.
George, good
Can I say
word.
that?
Erudite's not used often enough.
Right. I'm just trying to. Yeah.
Very
Did
sagacious.
I ever show you the gun bit that I did on one of those Merseyside things years ago? It was
recall.
one of these panel things, and one of the story I had to do. Someone else was doing a story about guns, and I said that I took offense to the fact that it was just, of course, this American story about guns, and I pretended that the chair that I was sitting on broke while I was talking, and so I got up to fix it, and I have all these cap guns from my childhood. So I was using handguns to fix the thing, and I was opening soda bottles with rifles and stuff, and I thought
Sounds like a YouTube series.
it was really silly and really, really funny. One of my funnier bits that I ever did unexpectedly on a British thing. It's very silly.
Nice.
That reminds me of the first show that we did in Australia, where we were doing, we had slides, while
Next
we were
slide.
doing the live show, and sprinkled throughout the slides, whenever there was a picture of in Australia, there was a spider in the background.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they
I
got
remember.
bigger and bigger
Yeah,
until they're
over the whole-
crawling over the mountains in the background.
Yeah. That was actually when I realized there was more to you guys than I thought.
It was
What was that?
2010, huh?
Yeah, because
2010.
that was our first trip together.
That
We
was our
hadn't
first
really,
trip.
we
That's
hadn't really
right.
done anything together, really. I think we had done maybe like a show or an interview or something together.
Interview, yeah, just an
and we were doing, we all met at JFK. We all flew together and the whole thing, and it was great.
It was not JFK. It was Newark.
Was it Newark? Oh, Newark. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. And
2010 or 2014?
10.
2010.
Yeah, the first thing, and then that was like
Tam, Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were doing this presentation and you're showing these slides, and like you had edited these things, while in the air, wherever we were going, you had done this editing, and like I remember thinking like, oh, these guys are. There's more than I thought. This is not just about skeptic science communication. Right. Like these guys are the shit. This is cool.
Especially that Bob.
That was the first time I really thought, oh, they took extra effort. You didn't have to do that, and you did it, and it was really funny. So I thought, I'm going to try to hang with these guys.
Nice.
These guys are hangable. Hang withable.
And then a few years after that, we realized the same thing about you, George.
By the 6th or 7th year, it was just like, okay, open the door.
2019 was like, all right, we can deal with this. We can deal with George.
All right.
One more? Last question is,
let's finish it up.
For George, when did he start wearing glasses?
When his eyesight went bad.
It's so funny that I don't think of myself as someone that wears glasses, but I've been wearing glasses since 8th grade, I think. I mean, I sort of incidentally wore them. I wouldn't wear them for sports or sort of. I had to read the blackboard. I had to have glasses on. So I've had glasses forever, and yeah, it's just. And I have 35 pairs, I think, or whatever. They're all downstairs. Yeah.
Why are they called pairs of glasses? By the way?
Right.
Those are 2 lenses.
All prescription, 35 prescription glasses.
Yeah, because they're like the $7, $8, $9, $10 ones. These were like
$12
bucks.
This is a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all cheap, but I do. And the problem is like I have
one device. Sorry.
It's a pair of pants, right?
Pair of pants.
Pair of socks.
But I haven't upped my prescription in probably like 8 or 10 years, and my right eye is like really bad, and I know it's bad, but the problem is like when I get a new prescription, I'm gonna have to buy
35.
I keep like, no, I'm fine. I can see the sign. I'm totally good.
But buying glasses today is so much better than
I know. It's like I said,
you had to pay $400 for glasses.
These were $12, I think, with prescription. So yeah, you have to find the right places, And so yeah, I think the most expensive pair I have is like a Warby Parker, which was like $95, which is like ooh Warby. Yeah. Everything else is like $25 or less. So
yeah, interestingly, I one point in time, I may have told this story. I tried to find like a $50 pair of sunglasses, and they don't exist because you have the cheap ones that are less than $20,
15 to 20, yeah,
and then you have the designer ones which are 150 and up,
right?
And there's this gap where you can't buy because I figured I want to buy sunglasses where I'm paying for the quality of the construction and not getting totally ripped off for the design, right?
Sounds like a
just
commercial.
For the designer glass. But I just couldn't find them. I couldn't find a $50 pair.
I mean, because if you go onto iBuyDirect or Zenny.com or something, you can get a $35 pair of glasses that are decent, $40 pair of glasses, and then you a la carte, you add the tint to them.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to find a very iBuyDirect, Zenny.com,
the glass hole.
Glass hole.
Really good. No. They're. I mean, Warby Parker is $95, but if you go to Zenny, Zenni.com, they're great.
Yeah. All right.
So you literally can choose the tint. You can choose whether it's mirrored or thing or gray or black or whatever, and you could get a fantastic pair of sunglasses, probably about $60, like shipping and everything.
Bob uses Retinax 5.
Physical quality is good.
I'm allergic to Retinax 5.
Yeah. I've been very happy with them. I've been very happy with them.
All right, done.
Yay.
That's that.
All right, boys.
Or get the coffee glasses. Yeah, get the Ochi's glasses from Kiev. Get those.
Yeah.
The ones made out of coffee.
Yeah.
I don't like the smell of coffee though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, right. You're a weirdo. You're one of those.
I love the smell of coffee in the morning.
One of the normal people.
One of the norms.
The norms. Yeah.
Now, if they
I'm sorry the special guest didn't show up, guys. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He blew us off.
He never shows up.
Where is Jay, by the way? What's going on?
Oh,
he's getting ready for a party tomorrow.
Getting ready for a party.
Party boy.
I know.
Right, cool.
Saturnalia. It's our Saturnalia party.
Oh, fun. Nice. Well,
You're welcome to join us, George, if you want to drive up tomorrow.
Oh, okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. It's like 12 hours beforehand, but that's fine. No, I appreciate the invite. It's good.
Yeah. I assume it's Jay's party. I'm assuming.
Togas? Are you doing togas and the whole deal?
Yeah.
The whole thing? Yeah. Awesome.
I got a new costume this year. I'm very excited.
Very cool.
I got the same one from last year.
Well, thank you, gents. Lovely to see you all. Thanks, Ian.
All right.
Nice seeing you, George.
Thanks,
Thank you,
George.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, follow us on TikTok. We have a new one that I just posted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the
That
ads
guy.
and stuff. Yeah.
There's
That guy
it's called
talking about
Pareidolia.
UFOs.
Yeah, actually, the UFO one blew up and people are mad. The UFO believers,
Are
Cool.
mad?
Are they mad?
Yeah,
Oh,
a couple
good.
of
We're doing it right.
So fuck
Mission
it.
accomplished. Big sign.
Pretty funny. Okay, goodbye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
Is this the secret after show?
George.
George
Okay.
knows.
All right. So
I remembered.
George, here are the rules
Yes.
of the Post Extreme show.
Mhm.
First rule of Post Extreme show. Guess what it is?
Don't talk about Post Extreme show.
And
Nah,
what's
you
the
probably
second
don't.
rule of Post
They're
Extreme?
not going to pay attention anyway.
They are oblivious. This
Oh, that's funny.
maybe I'll predict about 18 years from now is when
God.
be like, hey, I just
Wait a
realized
minute. I was
somebody
watching the
told
archive
me
and the virtual television in my eyeball, and I
and the
realized
thing-
that Jay and Evan and Ian were hanging out afterwards.
Yeah, and they do this thing.
I
called the
remembered.
Post
I remembered.
Show. You did remember. That's good for you, George. I'm glad you decided to stick around and
All right.
have a little post chat.
What's the topic now? What's the real topic here, kids?
Let's get-
Give us the real questions, Ian.
Are you George Santos? Are you secretly?
I think we're all George Santos.
Are we all
aren't
George Santos?
That's right. I am George Santos. I am George. It's our Spartacus moment.
There's-
How is that guy? Have you seen the latest now with the drag
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
thing?
And
Was
there's
that
a video of
verified?
him.
not
Not
sure,
as
but
much as you
like,
can.
maybe not.
Maybe.
If you
May
look
not
at
be
his
a thing.
ears, like the
Yeah.
ears were what gave it away for me. Like the ears are the same. It's my
Yeah, it's a little.
gosh.
It's funny.
Don't they have programs that can?
You know who's the
analyze
dumbest
It's an
person
old
though?
video, but yeah,
The
What's that?
dumbest person is the guy that the Democrat that ran against
that's
him.
true. That's the word.
Like
Who couldn't write? Who
Couldn't
didn't
beat him.
capitalize on the fact that this person was just a
All?
lying scumbag?
a lying machine whose entire existence is a facade, and you couldn't grab one of those things and be like, "Hey, by the way, he stole $3,000 from a veteran's dog."
Yeah.
You know, like what the
And he
hell?
said his mom died or she was in the towers.
In the towers,
Wow.
you know, and that he's a Holocaust
Very good.
grandparents and
All right, he's Jewish.
Jewish.
that was
No, John
probably
Lovett's routine. It's
like,
unbelievable.
Are you kidding?
It's
Like,
unbelievable.
the
and it's
nerve,
in New York
the
of all
nerve you
places.
have to have.
But it's in New York. It's not even like in some crazy deep red state where this guy got in. It's like it's New York. What the? Wow.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
That's another thing we keep going back to politics or the political parties. We keep going
Yeah.
back to them, and it's still
That's a good one. Yes.
worse and worse.
Oh, Ian, that's spot
That's
on.
the one.
We keep hoping, right, that Congress will be able to do something with each other and the two
Whoops.
parties.
All right.
Oh, that's
Let's
great.
change up the theme
Okay,
here. The
change it.
Post-Extreme
It's
test
fun.
is supposed to be a light sort of ending.
Sorry,
like,
yes, sorry.
it's
Chocolate.
It's
Chocolate.
the mint on the pillow in your hotel after you're done with the meal downstairs. It's
Ooh.
that kind of,
Wait,
Yeah.
speaking of which, are you pro chocolate and mint combination or
Oh
anti?
my gosh, yes.
Very pro. Yeah. same.
Two awesome.
What's the
things.
Andes? Andes, right?
Andes,
Oh,
yeah, those are
right?
great.
Don't put the
Delicious.
package
Or
out
after
because,
8,
yeah.
is that another? Is that
After
the other
8,
one?
correct,
After
correct.
those.
Mint
Yeah,
chocolate chip, as
You're
long as
supposed
the
to
chocolate.
stop after you eat 8 of those things. You can't stop.
Yeah.
That's why it's called after 8, or 8 is enough.
I'm actually, I
Mhm.
have over the years have become less of a chocolate fan. I almost feel like we love chocolate because we're supposed to love chocolate. Whereas, like, if you sit and eat a whole chocolate bar, it's kind of
On
like,
the hat. Okay.
like by the end of it, like hot chocolate, okay, whatever. Chocolate sort of incorporated and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. That's
Hey,
such a-
Visto Tutti, by the way,
Yes.
just asked if I wrote any new elements. Yes, I wrote 7 new elements, and I broadcasted them last night, as a matter of fact. Go to my
Awesome.
YouTube
Whoa.
channel, please.
YouTube.
Go to my YouTube channel. All 118 elements now complete for the very first time. 112 through 118, when I wrote the original occasional songs for the periodic table, were not synthesized. Since then, they have been synthesized. So you've got Tennessine and Muscovium and a bunch of other ones that I can't remember the names
Yeah,
of.
but like these materials themselves, the songs are like 1/12 millionth of a second long.
That's right. Here we go. That's Livermorium and Flerovium and Nihonium, Capernacium, Tennessine, and Oganesson. Those are the new ones. And I wrote new songs for those. And just last night, premiered them in a 85-minute long stream.
Awesome.
All 118 songs, did it live. Misinformation was running the board. Kiki Lee was the voice of the computer reading the things. Go to my YouTube and check it out because it's really, really fun.
Actual link directly to the live stream.
Oh, there it is. Look at that.
That's right. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like and the thumbs up and tell
That's
your
right.
friends
And ring the bell
everyone.
and make sure that you do the hokey pokey at least once in your life.
Do all the things that you now do that a few years ago you had no idea what the heck we were talking about.
Here's a good final
Basically,
final question.
Yes.
What's the grossest thing you guys have eaten? Or at least gross to your palate, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's the famed Christmas Eve Jello fish, which I've not eaten, but I've been in the room with. So there's a thing called stuff in aspic. Basically, you take protein and you put it in aspic, and Ukrainian Christmas Eve, we have fish in aspic, and it everything about it is unappealing. I've never tasted it though, so I can't say. But in Ecuador, I had some offal. I had some. I was at a barbecue house, and they brought out this like special tray of nastiness. That was not good. Yeah.
I suppose gefilte fish, I suppose, would be
really
same
bad?
idea.
Gregorius kind of in there, just the smell of it as when I was young growing up kind of really repulsed me, and I never got over it, and I avoided it pretty much my whole life.
Yeah. Is that lutefisk? Is that
liverwurst?
Lutefisk, yeah, that's the lye baked, not even baked. You just take lye on fish and bury it. There's that shark too. They do that too, where they take the shark and you bury it for a month. That's some kind of Scandinavian deal.
It's called land shark. Yeah,
I had
land shark.
I had duck tongue. That was weird because there's like a very hard gelatinous thing in the middle of it, but it's like gooey on the outside, and you bite into it. Like,
prepared how? Cooked or how?
It was like at a Chinese restaurant, so it was like a saucy kind of thing, and it was boiled. The sauce was good, just the tongue was not.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an adventurous eater, so I've done a pretty good job for the most part of avoiding things that I would think I would find repulsive. I'm not. It's just not that bold. I'm not that much of an explorer when it comes to
even with that hat
and stuff. You would think so otherwise, but I don't know. Is that a shortcoming? Some people think so, but I it's more like a preservation instinct as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm not going to let that near me.
What's the strangest like protein you've had, Evan?
Oh,
The
Have you had, like,
kangaroo. Didn't we have
kangaroo?
kangaroo down in
Okay.
Australia?
Crocodile or snake?
Yeah,
Gator is good.
I had gator.
Gator's great. Yeah.
Gator is good.
Okay.
Anybody had
Gator.
jellied eels? You Brits? Any Brits had jellied eels?
Jellied
No.
eels.
Sounds like
Have you
slang
ever seen
for a
that? It's
pastry or
really
something.
gross.
Yeah.
No, it's an eel, and they like put gelatin on it.
Like a
or
sea
yeah, it's like-
cucumber.
again,
It's like
Is
an
it
aspic.
kinda like
Yeah.
sea
It's the
cucumber?
aspic deal.
Is that
That aspic
I
deal
don't
is
know.
just
It's weird.
Yeah, sea cucumber, Fred. Pretty bad. I agree.
Don't know why they do it.
Whew. How did we get on this topic? This is how we're going to wrap up the show today?
Well, happy
What's the
Friday.
best thing? What's the best meal you've ever had?
Oh,
Does one
that's
stand out?
impossible.
I have one that's
And not even taste, necessarily just the whole experience. Go, Evan.
No,
go.
it was in Italy in 2016,
Mm.
in Tuscany, and we drove out to Pisa, right, to see, the stuff. But then we went to the coast, all right, and had lunch on the coast, and there was this swordfish. I don't know what it was. It was ambrosia. Really, it was like it was beyond tasting so good. How it was prepared, it was so thinly cut and seasoned, and a little bit of oil, and how it was like barely kind of cooked. Was it even raw? Not even sure what the hell they did to it. But it was. Jennifer and I still talk about it to this day. It's like, remember the swordfish in Pisa, and we were like, Pavlov's dog salivating. Amazing.
Ian, go.
I don't really know. I mean, one thing that turned me from vegetarian to pescatarian was like the ceviche in Peru. I was like pretty insanely good.
Is that with lime juice or lemons?
Yeah,
How do they do it?
lemon lime. They have like the really big
do
corn
love my
kernels
citrus,
in Peru
yeah.
too. It's like it was insanely good. But
That's lovely.
yeah, on the beach, that was like kind of fire.
George, you got your memory there?
Well, for me, there is one that stands out because when I was in as a senior in high school, and I know that says a lot that my memories from way back then, but this one, and I'm sure it wasn't as good as I remember it, but there was just something about it. I went to France for a week exchange program. It was like artists and people that were artists and athletes. We got to go present music and a play, and then be involved in sports. So we played soccer and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in Étampes, France, which is like about 2 hours outside of Paris. And food all week was terrible. It was like like they barely fed us. It didn't matter because we were hanging out. It was co-ed. It was fantastic. We were in France. We didn't give a shit. But by the end of the week, we basically hadn't really had any food. We decided to just break curfew, and we walked into town, and we found a pizza place that was run by this Italian who was living in Étampes. And the one guy that supposedly spoke French ordered a pizza plein, thinking it was like plain, but plein meant everything. So so they brought this thing out, and it had like shellfish and octopus and shrimp and meats and cheeses, and everything was on this thing. And it was the most delicious. I think because we were basically starving, as close as you can get to starving. And we tore into this thing, and I remember just thinking, this was it. You said ambrosia. That's the perfect word. It was just ambrosia. Plus, we were 19, 18, whatever we were, really good friends. It was just amazing, just absolutely amazing. I also had a wonderful seafood thing in Australia. It was just a dinner by myself, and I just kept ordering stuff because I was like, I don't care, and I just kept ordering, ordering, and I was like, oh, that was great.
Good for you.
But yeah, the pizza in Étampes. I got to go back and find that place and see if it still exists 30 plus years later.
That's pretty good.
All right, George. Hey, thanks for sticking around for the post-extreme show.
Thanks for making the game, Ian. Evan, I know how difficult it is to make those things, and way to go.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I love doing it. Games and puzzles and things are my jam. So happy to do it. I will be doing many, many more.
Awesome. Have a lovely weekend,
you
everyone.
As well, Ian and George and everybody listening and watching.
Anything else to promote?
Don't think so.
Okay.
We're on TikTok. Right.
TikTok. Yeah, there you go. Always on TikTok. We'll get Evan on TikTok one of these days too. And George, anything? That's it. Bye.
April 22nd.
Oh,
my next album is coming out. It's called Terpsichore. That's right. We're going to have a show at the Ice House in Bethlehem.
I got to look that up. It's after tax season, so we will be there, George. After tax season, I will be there.
We're going to have a live band playing, and then there's going to be a listen through. We're going to actually play the entire album. It's going to be a fantastic, fantastic night. So album number 8, Terpsichore, April.
All right, April. Yeah, that's not the 22nd month. UK
Correct.
people.
Yeah, I know you.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes, for everyone attending
Yeah,
in Europe,
April
it's,
22nd.
the whole
Make plans to be in
Prominent Day.
Bethlehem. It's going to be wonderful. Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Bye bye.
Peace out, everyone.
Bye bye. Bye bye.